Hey YouTubers, and welcome back to another Dragon Ball Super theory set slash speculation video, and I am once again joined by D-Free DBZHD.
Hello, everybody. I'm back on the channel. Thanks for having me on once again, Mark. It's always a pleasure, bro. What are we talking about today?
We are talking about basically the hit list. Who is it? Basically 3, 4, whoever we can think of at this point. We're just going to talk it out. Amount of people who actually are going to be putting a hit out on Goku. Who do we think is going to do it? And honestly, man, I just got to throw it out because I know this is going to be on everyone's mind. I think the most obvious answer right now is, fuck it, we don't know who the guy is, honestly. We don't know who it is yet, and we're going to be learning who it is throughout the arc and his reasoning and everything else. And, I mean, what are your thoughts on that? What could it possibly be about? Is that a good idea? Should it be someone we know? Yada, yada, yada.
Yeah, I think that it will be somebody that we're not accustomed to, just to kind of, make it to where we're not rehashing similar plot lines. I mean, we kind of brought back a villain once before. I don't think they'll do it again. In the series. Well, I wouldn't be surprised, but I don't think they will, at least. So I do think we'll meet somebody new. Now, as far as who it will potentially be, we don't know, of course, but let's just kind of have a little fun with it, and that let's talk about characters that we, once again, have already been accustomed to, and them potentially having a grudge against Goku or some sort of issue with Goku causing them to set up something like that. So my first guess is somebody like Frost. I think that Frost didn't get very much development, and when I look at Hit, I say, okay, well, he was introduced in the Universe 6 stuff, and Frost was as well. I think that they played up Frost to be a good guy, only to get, kind of, shafted in the end. It's like, oh, well, he's not really a good guy, he's more or less a bad guy, but he's basically Frieza 2.0 or Frieza, whatever it is. So I think that Frost would be an interesting case for it, him or somebody like Champa. I wouldn't say that Champa would do it, because I don't think Champa would particularly be a character that would set something like that up. I don't think that he would really be angry at Goku in particular either. I think he'd probably be more or less fed up with, Hit, for one, because Hit is the one that kind of just gave up on that fight, or at the very least Monaka, because Monaka and Hit was the final round, but I don't think he'd be, targeting Goku specifically. And at the very least, too, I think that Champa's kind of overall that anyway, because he, at the end of the day, got what he wanted. He got Earth back. So I do think Frost, if you look at just Universe 6 entities, I think Frost has the most compelling case in my opinion. More or less because Magetta had no interaction with Goku, and Botamo just kind of went out in a second. So there's that.
No, I completely agree, and just kind of go harking back on to like what we were originally talking about, the whole concept of someone else that we don't know. The only thing that would actually make sense to me is someone who's kind of been watching GodTube, maybe a God of Destruction, a Supreme Kai, someone kind of like Zamasu, but not necessarily as tactical or anything else, who's watching GodTube and decides that Goku is like the most basic or genuine threat of that entire tournament, and thinks that if he could take Goku out, then his universe will stand a chance. And that's the only thing I would think of. I mean, obviously, if they want to keep building up to the Universal Tournament, and plus if it's someone we don't know at this point, it's probably going to have to be someone like that has some kind of connection. It can't just be random. I mean, this arc, they can introduce something that Goku did or something that be completely random, but I can't think of it. Another thing about the Frost thing, I actually like the concept of Frost, because although the fact that I don't think we need another Frieza villain, but I do like the concept of Frost because, just going back to someone who is an emperor and just doing his own thing, kind of living his own life, wants to get revenge because apparently Goku and Vegeta made fools of him. But the one thing is, like, Vegeta's the one who really made a fool of Frost and like made him want to escape with all the treasure and everything. So it's really hard to consider exactly why, if it's Frost, why he'd be going after Goku and not Vegeta, unless, like I already said, he's just worried about Goku and Vegeta, Goku more in general, actually having fighting in the upcoming tournament. But that even makes very little sense compared to the fact that Frost was basically just out cold for that entire tournament, especially the whole time that Goku was fighting. So how would he know? Maybe just thoughts and speculation and stuff. And then going back to Champa, I actually really like the Champa idea, but I'm going to take it one step further. One of the things I was like basically just promoting, and the only person in this entire community who's like picketing for the whole
Vados. I knew it was coming. I knew it was Vados.
Like, I love the fact. I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. I don't think it's going to be Champa. I feel like Champa's not that type of guy. He doesn't have that motivation. But Vados. I mean, we think about where
you
Vados was.
You always wanted Vados to be the villain, Mark. I
want Vados to be. I want her to be the villain so badly, and I want her to be like, imagine what we saw with her. Remember what we saw with her in terms of people that we know and like interactions between people. We've seen Vados like kind of stalk hit. Stock. It's like she was running that tournament. Not only did she recruit everyone from Universe 6, but she knew everything that was going on. Basically, nothing was a surprise to her besides Goku's strength, and that in and of itself is something that would probably scare her, especially with all these events that have gone down. There's no way that they don't know about it, at least maybe. It's hard to think that like nobody in other universes would know about what's gone down at this point. And I feel like, Vados is the one who she's sitting there going like, there's probably going to be a prize at the end of this tournament. There's probably going to be some kind of thing. And Goku, after what I saw in that last tournament, he's the one who's the genuine threat. Hit is still stronger than him at this point, but Goku can definitely become stronger than Hit. So we need to take him out and actually have a chance of winning this next tournament because Hit can actually carry our team. So that's my opinion. Like, I feel like she can come back and be completely awesome. And like the main villain, having a female main villain for a Dragon Ball arc, I mean, that would be awesome. Plus someone we know, someone we can learn to hate and just feel genuinely surprised when she's the villain. That's my point.
Well, I do feel that a female character would be a really compelling choice to be as a main villain, especially a character of Vados' stature. She's very powerful. And if you want to kind of put her on the same pedestal that you would put on that, well, not even us, because the community know, but at least Toriyama to a degree. If you want to put her on the same pedestal as he would with, Vados, or excuse me, with Whis and Beerus and like their power scaling and whatnot, and how they're infinitely stronger than everybody else somehow, she would be a good candidate, because they would actually have a challenge in front of them. If they fused again, which is totally plausible, because they have the time limit and all that stuff, it's totally plausible. If they did it again, they wouldn't wipe the floor with Vados, air quotes up, because the way the story goes. But I think that she would be a good option. Now, as far as like who it could be that we are not accustomed to, what do you think about that? Then I don't really have many thoughts on that, but I do want to kind of touch on it.
Oh, okay, just off the top of my head, I know this is really crazy, and a lot of people are gonna be arms up in the air. This is fucking bullshit. Excuse my language, guys. This is bullshit. It's gonna be completely stupid. But something that might be a little bit interesting, but although a little bit beating a dead horse. What if it's someone from Red Ribbon Army?
Oh, that's a good idea. I like it.
Because Goku, like, in terms of people that Goku would have a vendetta against, I mean, we've already seen Frieza come back. Frieza had a vendetta. Cell, he's nowhere to be seen, but the Red Ribbon Army has already come back to bite Goku in the ass at some point in this whole series. I mean, they've been around twice already. Why not bring them back? And I don't know how on earth they would be tracking, like, I don't know how they would be tracking into other universes and be able to recruit Hit and all that information, all that stuff. But I mean, that is just up for the series to actually explain to us. I mean, what are your thoughts?
Another thing too is I don't want to think that Hit would, just target Goku after, the moment that they had, but at the same time, it's Hit's job. So maybe it is possible, but I wonder how, more or less, kind of getting a little bit off topic, but I do wonder how this will be portrayed in the manga, because manga Hit versus anime Hit is an entirely different character, especially power-wise, and we know their feats now, how strong Goku would be at this point, having just come through the battle that he did. I'm kind of curious as to how, because we know Hit was holding back, but at the same time, Goku should be significantly stronger than he is. So I don't know how this all is going to work out. Maybe Hit's mind controlled. That's a thing. Maybe he got like some, maybe. Okay, let me throw this out there. This is crazy. Okay, this is the way I wanted the last arc to go. Maybe it's Toa and Mira, and she does her whole little take over your mind and power you up thing, like Babidi does. Huh?
Maybe.
It's a good idea.
I mean, I honestly, I feel like they're gonna have Hit be just paid to do what he's doing. Hit has that moral ambiguity, having him come in without with real motive, only for his own selfish goals and not someone controlling him, I feel would be more compelling. But I'm not disagreeing with you. We've seen the whole mind control magic thing come up with Bobby and all that in the previous arcs of Dragon Ball Z, so it's possible. Plus introducing Mira and Toa would be pretty awesome, because Toa, like I said, like having a female villain in Dragon Ball Super would be something that would be so unique in and of itself, I think would really excite a lot of fans, especially someone who's very strong and willing to step up to Goku and Vegeta and whoever else they try to put on a pedestal this next coming arc and want to just give endless power-ups and ridiculous plot conveniences to. Maybe Gohan. I mean, we'll never know.
Don't even.
Like, honestly, that's just as good of a thought as any. I personally want it to be Vados, but I would not be surprised with like the Red Ribbon Army, just considering people we know who might have some kind of personal vendetta against Goku.
Can we talk about the closet in the room really quick?
The closet in the room.
Yeah, closet in the room.
The skeleton
No,
in the
the
closet?
closet in the room. Because there's a
Okay,
a closet in the room and there's a skeleton in the closet. Let's talk about it this way. The one sneaky suspicious guess is Broly. He has a legitimate vendetta against Goku. Don't laugh. He has a legitimate vendetta against Goku. You saw in the movie how Goku was crying his ass off, and Broly, he took that to heart.
Like a bitch.
It transcribed into 3 different movies. So that shit is legitimate. So crying is a legitimate threat, okay?
Why would Broly hire Hit when Broly could wipe the floor with Hit and Goku? That makes no sense.
Well, just because Broly is a Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan 3 doesn't mean anything. Maybe he just wanted to get his hands dirty.
You paid him with muscles. You paid him with like the peck dance. Like
he scared the hell out of Hit, and Hit's like, bro, I don't want to F with you. I'll go do it.
I'll do it. I'll do anything you want. I'll do it. Just don't hurt me. I think, yeah, the skeleton in the closet in the room is... the closet in the room and the skeleton is definitely Broly. I feel like that is something we shouldn't end this video without mentioning, that Broly could and most possibly is, considering Super's trajectory with fan service up until this point.
I legitimately wouldn't be surprised. I'm not even going to lie. I'm not going to lie. I would not be surprised.
Can you imagine? Oh my god. Only the people who like, I called it. Oh my god, it's I'm going to be
Broly, Broly or Time Breaker Bardock. I'm putting that out there. Fan service to the max. At that point, I'm done. Just can't do it anymore.
Oh my god, I want substance and not just fan service. But anyway, guys, we're gonna leave it at that. Tell us who you think is gonna be the person who's putting out the hit on Goku, and why you think that. Do you think any of our guesses are good, be it ridiculous or even just funny just to think about, or actually legitimately good? Tell us in the comment section below, and please make sure to go check out D-Free and his channel. He makes some pretty awesome content. Plus, if you want to start seeing Dragon Ball Fusion stuff, please go check him out, because he's going to start covering it. And yeah,
make these hoes touch their toes. I hope you guys had a good laugh, just as good of a laugh as Mark did, by the way. Lighten up. God.
Anyway, guys, we'll catch you on the next video.
So serious.
Bye.